game that I played and how to do the opening that I use. My specific opening is the London system. So I noticed right away that I'm playing somebody that's about my rating. Now I play queen's pawn, then they respond with the same, and then usually they'll attack early with the knight or the bishop, sometimes the queen, and they do it with their knight. So I just simply defend. This is an airtight way to win a lot of games. I went on a 10-0 run against Oscar with this. So they bring out their knight, so I'm just going to develop like usual, bringing my knight into the game. Usually, I would bring my knight into the center of the board in the next 5 or 10 moves. Now they're going to put their knight in the middle where it can't really be attacked. So then I'm just going to develop like usual, which happens to attack the knight. And this is really not a good move, so I'm just going to continue developing how I usually do. But I should have been paying attention to threats, which I didn't, so then I kind of got screwed a little bit. So they attacked with the pawn, so I went back with my knight. And then I realized that was a blunder because I only saw the queen that was attacking, but I did not see the knight. They did not realize this was a blunder, so they did kind of a bad move, which, was okay for me because I saw a checkmate in 2 with the queen, so they never ended up actually getting that rook. So I brought out my queen to the edge of the board, threatening mate with my knight, and they didn't handle it very well, to say the least. That's why you always look for checks. So, once I did that, they noticed it was checkmate. I was hoping they wouldn't, so I'd have an easier game, but they didn't. So, they used a lot of time on this move, but basically, they're trying to avoid checkmate, and this is good for us because it's taking them a lot of time, and we want to make them feel stressed out in the end of the game. So they end up, I forgot what move they did, but we will see. Oh, I think their best move was to move their queen in front of their king to prevent checkmate, but they instead moved their knight to defend that piece, so I took, I think, because it was just a blunder at that point. They really didn't have anything to defend, but that was their best move. And I could have actually forked their queen and their rook, but I was kind of going for checkmate, so I didn't end up doing that. I think now they move out their queen, and it was another blunder. I don't know why, but they blundered, but it kind of messed up my formation, so it took me a little while to get back in the game. So they took, and I didn't really worry about it too much. It was a fork, it was a good fork, but I didn't worry too much. I just moved my king. That was actually a bad move because that's almost an open file. There's only 2 pieces on that, so I should have moved it to my left, but I was worried of a fork that could happen. Next, as expected, they took the free bishop, but I took back pretty fast because then I'd also attack the rook. So they really only had one good move in this situation, which would be moving the rook. And they didn't do that, so they actually blundered that. But you can see they have a really good pawn formation against my pretty decent pawn formation. So I was looking for checkmate. I wasn't looking to take any pawns that were blundered. It's a little while before our next move, so I'm going to tell you that this is called the London system. It's a very airtight system that gets you a lot of wins, and I'll put out another video to show you how to set that up. Next, she pushes her pawn, and I think I finished the development stage for the last knight. And next, she takes. I don't care too much because I was looking to bring my knight in the center of the board and then threaten checkmate. And that's what I did right there. I was threatening checkmate, and then I was actually in a really good position here because I was also attacking their bishop. So what they did, I was hoping them to do that. So I would attack their bishop to move out of the way, but instead she did the best possible move, or actually the best move, and she moved her bishop to the right, so I couldn't threaten mate. But what I did was I took my knight. I took it with their knight. I took their bishop with my knight, and then she took back, and then I checked. Actually, yes, I did check. So they obviously moved their bishop, and then I gave another check, and then I got a free rook, I thought, but then they moved their bishop back. So then I took their pawn, they castled, so that wasn't much of a threat anymore. And I was worried about my exposed king, so I dropped it back, or I dropped it to the left, so it wasn't on that open file anymore. And that was not a very good move, because as you can see, I could have given a check. They tried giving me a discovered attack, but that didn't work very well. So there, I gave a longer check that they'd have to move their king or their rook to defend. And then I was trying to get my rook on an open file, and they gave me one of these. And then my whole focus was to trade off pawns, so the board was a little more open. And that's they fell for that pretty well when I was up 11 points in material. And then next, I think I just took, because that was actually a blunder, because I have 2 pieces defending that piece, and he only has 1 attacking. He has 2 attacking, so it wasn't that bad. And if you have the same amount of defending pieces, but you attacked first, you'll always win material. So here, I should have traded, but I did not. But I think I dropped down to promote I was trying to make him take it, so then I could skewer his rook. But that didn't work so well, because he saw that, so then I just took. Trade off pieces. Then I think I skewered him again. And then next, I think he just pushed a pawn, and I started to trade off pawns, and then I moved my last pawn all the way up to promotion. So then she was actually also running out of time, which was to my benefit. I see I could have actually given a better check, but I didn't. And then I started to push my right pawn, and it was kind of game over since he couldn't defend that. And after that, I think I traded more pawns, or I think I sacrificed a couple pawns just because I wanted to clean up the area a little bit. It's better to have an open board. I don't know why I did that. I should have traded off another pawn. But next, it wasn't a big deal. I just took. And in this position, you're under so much pressure that you can't win the game. And she just saved her time there, and she forfeit the game. Please like and subscribe for more content. Thank you.